Vinay, when the great Zen master says, I eat when I am hungry, I sleep when I feel sleepy, I drink water when I feel thirsty, etc., that is normally interpreted and perceived, and really what he means is that is the essence and invariant aspect of existence. When your so-called personal consciousness that I am Vinay or I am Sundararajan, when that is sort of vanished, like a prompter in the background of a theater, then the creature is there, the Jivi is there. Jivi wants food, Jivi wants rest, Jivi wants what you call water. Then that gentle available consciousness of you is remaining with the only task of feeding it and putting it into sleep and dressing it up and taking it into to toilet, and that's all. Because where are you going to take your account book of I have done this, I have this many likes, I have this many contacts, I have this much of money, and where are you going to show it? So when you read, for example, social psychology, it is one of the branches of psychology. Almost when you read social psychology, you will realize, if you are a really reflecting, creative, analytic student, that entire human development is basically social psychological only. Every parent, every mother, father, siblings, everybody else is constantly training the developing child to be sensitive to the environment of people and to be in their good books, especially. Yes. Okay? So when no more human beings are critically significant for you, or when you realize that any human being in the history of humanity is nothing more than a bird in the sky, then that kind of a consciousness realizes that, okay, I eat when I am hungry, that's all. I am just a consciousness with the responsibility to feed this creature whose processes are maintaining this consciousness. At the point. Now, the interesting point is that in a way everybody is doing that only. They eat when they are hungry, and they drink water when they are thirsty, they go to sleep when they are sleepy, when they feel about the extra things like sex, they would have sex, and they feel like talking to people, they go out and talk. They are all more or less the servants of their extra mindsets, that's all. But by the time they realize what they have finally done with those extra mindsets, or at least at the deathbed, the consciousness will be more or less pure. And because it will not be affected by other contaminations. Because it is already shedding away all the mindsets. Okay? At that time, there will be a clear glimpse of what the hell I have been doing with this existence. And at that moment of great fall, that is the remaining story, it will be a different story. So, what we are discussing now is, this is something people should realize. And right now, it is high time to realize. In a way, what I am talking is not entirely an original idea or anything like that, I am not sure. Of course, not an original idea. But this has been here in the environment of language since history of the beginning of India, Bharat. Okay? And when the people of the world are going to be clearly aware of it, Vinay, there are some more so-called mystics and gurus, Vivekananda or Ramakrishna Paramahamsa or Tagore or somebody who goes around talking about this to people. There are thousands of volumes about this book. Even Western philosophers are talking about this. Okay, a certain number of people. read it and they comprehend it, and it remains just as a knowing level as much as I know, not to a doing level. And if at all there's a doing level, there is no translation into the being level. The being does not become that. Okay, at least knowing level. What humanity is waiting for? With these advanced technologies of even so-called artificial intelligence, I don't know what are they waiting for. There's all beautiful things around, like a fully automatic car, electric vehicles, fantastic smartphones, TVs, all those wonderful, mysterious, beautiful things are there in this world. You can go by high-speed jet airplanes. Okay, all those wonderful things are there, and still people are deteriorating. What is this stupid drama going on? And some criminal-minded world leaders are again using guns to conquer other land and war and killing. What the hell they are doing with this existence? It has been there since nomadic times. China's behavior is nothing different from the Mongolian nomadic barbarians. What America has been doing is nothing different from the barbarians who invaded that land and killed thousands and thousands of original American Indians and made them slaves and using them like the gold mines and things like that. And they are still making what you call super fighter jets and all. For what? Okay, let them make it, okay? They are bored with life. These world leaders are bored. Then they think of some so-called strategy. Okay, let us have a war. And some stupid Nobel Prize-winning economists are supporting that. Because war generates further employment and wealth creation, Okay, this is all unnecessary discussion, actually speaking. Why we are discussing it is, these are all topics which we are surprised about. That's all. We are simply surprised about the continuing stupidity of humanity, stupidity of every generation, sustained by carefully planned, criminally planned education system to make them just coolies in the government and other work areas. To make them coolies, not to become self-aware. For example, psychology is a subject, it's about the human being. I would say psychology is the greatest subject in the world. Do you know why? Because it's about the greatest human beings. They say mathematics, physics and calculus are all great. Okay, they are great, but nothing comparable to the supreme, so-called wonderful, magical beings of human beings. And there are some information available. Why they don't put it as at least one of the subjects in the high schools and the pre-college level? They don't do it. Because they know very clearly these religious criminal leaders, political criminal leaders, and other social criminal leaders know very well that if psychology is a compulsory subject in the schools all over the world would be a better place. They don't want it. Anyway, these are all we are discussing in this room, that's all. But these are the facts of it. So what I am telling you, as a result of all these things, see, in the coming world, with all this technological, gigantic magic and wonders, I am telling, by 2030 or 2040, maximum 2050, the world will be full of zombies. Simply ignorant, maybe keyboard pressing, or now even keyboard may not be required, okay? Just using high-end techniques of artificial intelligence tools and just, I don't know. So, for that time, you have to prepare to become a real leader for that time. So that's why we are planning GV Yoga, which is the simplest and the most advantages. It is not about enlightenment and God realization and all those big things which other gurus are talking. It is very practical. It's about creating a sound body and sound mind. Basically, a sound body, and body is the mind, and the mind will become wonderful, and above all, good health, immunity. Health will be the greatest issue already. 90% of human beings are unhealthy, suffering from various illnesses. So our Jiva Yoga is about creating that good health also. So it will have, as we discussed, to summarize it once again, it will have 3 spokes to the wheel of Jiva Yoga. One is analyzing their blocking mindsets and giving them clarification. And second is training them in the basic fundamentals of yogic management of the body organic processes. And third is compulsorily taking one of the greatest of herbal composition called Saraswatarisham gold, to be purchased and taken from any of the well-known companies like a Kottakkal or Nagarjuna or Vayaskaramus or Coimbatore Ayurveda Pharmacy or wherever, or which you will make and give. These are the 3 wings, and within 90 days of this thing, even before that, they will all realize that their entire system is rebooted. So that is Jiva Yoga. So we ended up in talking about Jiva Yoga. Coincidentally, that's all.